Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Tonight's game is West Ham United versus Leeds United at Elland Road. And it's a big game. Where West Ham were last season, I would have said this is going to be a real tough fixture, and it probably still is going to be a tough fixture, but West Ham are not the same team they were last season, and they have been struggling. So let us hope that Leeds can do something today. The new signing, Maximilian Voba, is not in the squad. Let me just start the timer. Might be a couple of seconds behind, but it'll be mostly right. Welcome, Matt Robinson. Let's string some passes together. Definitely. We have had issues with that, haven't we? A lot of our goals that we concede come from us losing the ball in attacking positions and then being countered on. So let's hope that we can actually have a bit better ball retention tonight. Somerville comes back in from the start, I think. Yes, there he is, for Jack Harrison. Ayling starts again, his second match in a row. Rodrigo up top with Gnonto, Aronson as well in there with him. These are giving the ball away, though, here early on, and West Ham are trying to break. Pascal Strout goes out to the left-hand side to try and match up against Jared Bowen. Welcome everybody who's just joined the stream. If you haven't liked the stream already, I would really appreciate it if you could like the stream for me, get more people in here, and we'll get a good chat going on this Premier League match night, something like that. Lee's just trying to clear the ball here. Ayling does so up to the halfway line. Rodrigo tries to bring it down but loses the ball to Paqueta. Paqueta, who was actually very good for Brazil in what I saw. Well, I saw every minute of Brazil, so he was actually good. Oh, ball given away here by West Ham. Rodrigo comes into the box. Rodrigo tries to shoot, and a tackle is made by Aguerd, the Moroccan defender. Looked like a fair challenge. Was a really good tackle in the end. I'd be interested to see that back, though. Excellent challenge. That really is an excellent challenge, and he was part of that Moroccan defence that did so well to get to the semi-final of a World Cup. He was a big part of that Moroccan defence until he got injured, and so yeah, seen a lot of him throughout the World Cup, and I think he's been excellent. So he's one to look out for today. Mac Rocker to take the corner. Straight to the near post, as always. Alex Whittaker saying, is there a truth in the link to the Coventry striker, Victor Gyökeres? I'm not sure on that one. It's a weird one because we've been linked to him for a few years now. And so it's one of them, a bit like a Che Adams. There probably was some truth in it at some point. And we may have reignited our interest in the player, but you never really know with these things. So until a tier 1 source like Phil Hay or Fabrizio Romano or somebody like that tweets that we are interested in going for him, then I'll be making a video to see how he might fit into our team. But I think he's contributed quite a lot of goals to Coventry over the past couple of seasons. It just remains to be seen whether somebody like that is of a Premier League standard. Speaking of which, Tyler Adams is definitely of a Premier League standard, and he's really flourished this season. He's probably been our best signing, when a lot of people, including myself, actually said that they would have preferred Mo Kamara. But I also said I would be happy with Tyler Adams as well, and he has been excellent. I really like his work rate, his tenacity, his ball winning, everything. I think he's been really, really good. And so has Wilfred Gnonto, who's played a lovely curled ball out to the right-hand side for Ayling to put it in the box, goes past Aronson, and Aguerd is able to get it to Dawson, who clears. Evening, Kelvin. Welcome to the chat. Any predictions? Ooh. I'm going to be positive tonight, and I'm going to say that we are going to win 2-1 because I feel like it's about time we got a win. We've been needing one for ages now. It's about time we got a win, and I'd be really, really happy with that. It's at home against a struggling West Ham side who are a lot better than they sort of have been letting on this season. They've got good players, but really, I would like to see Leeds win tonight, given the position of the two teams, and we need to be winning these games, especially at home, to have that chance of staying up. Leeds player has just headed the ball into the box to a West Ham player. A West Ham player shoots, and it is blocked by Robin Koch. It was apparently offside anyway. I think it's Scamacca Oh yeah, it's Scamacca. He's changed his hair since I made that graphic where he had the blonde highlights in. He's changed his hair since, but obviously Scamacca was their summer signing of a striker, and he wasn't fit for a while, but obviously he now is, and he had a little bit of a chance there from a Leeds mistake again, but Leeds managed to recover and Robin Koch win the ball back. Even though it was offside anyway, so good working back from Koch, even though somebody else had made a mistake for that chance. Somerville trying to run here, gives the ball into Gnonto's feet. Gnonto's fouled on the halfway line, but Leeds get the advantage. West Ham win the ball though, and Leeds are going to have a free kick on the halfway line then. 5 minutes in, we've given away a bit of a silly chance, but we've also had a few little chances to break as well, so it's not looking too bad at the moment. Quite a bright start to this game, especially from players like Gnonto and Somerville, who are loving getting the ball and running with it, which is always good to see. Players resumed here. Tyler Adams with the ball on the halfway line. Be interested to see how good we are at breaking down West Ham today, because against Newcastle we didn't really create enough to win the game. I wouldn't have said we deserved to win that game at all, but we deserved to be in it, and we managed to hang on and get a point there. But we need to be creating more chances to score against this West Ham side. Talking of which, we are now breaking with Gnonto down the left-hand side. Tries to put it in the box, but I think it's Declan Rice who gets a foot in, and it goes out for a Leeds throw-in in an attacking position. For anybody who missed it, in the lineup tonight, Maximilian Voba is not in the lineup, as obviously he's only just signed in on his medical and all that stuff. Gnonto starts, Somerville comes back in for Harrison, Aronson starts in attack with Rodrigo, Adams and Rocker in the holding midfield roles. Adams, who's just played a ball across to Ayling, who starts again over Rasmus, but Ayling wasn't able to control that there. There has been links as well from Bayern Munich and potentially Newcastle as well about Ilian Meslier, which is upsetting to see, because I want Ilian Meslier to stay for as long as humanly possible, but he will only do that if we continue to improve, and to be honest, at the moment we don't look like we're improving that much. So if we sign another player in January and our form turns around a bit, we could see Meslier staying for a little bit longer. Rodrigo's just had a bit of a high foot there and kicked Declan Rice in the head, I think, so Declan Rice has gone down. Definitely wasn't laughing at that. Michael Brown, need to keep an eye on the Southampton versus Nottingham Forest and Wolves versus Aston Villa. Yeah, as I've got the game on and I've got the stream and chat on my other screen, be good if you guys could keep me updated with scores from the other teams, and then we can talk about it in the chat when scores do come through from those other games. Because obviously, like Michael says, they're in and around us in the league, so we do need to keep an eye on those games. Rodrigo's won himself a yellow card there for that high foot on Declan Rice just inside the Leeds United half. And Rodrigo is kind of known a little bit for his striker tackles, so I hope that he can sort of keep his head and not make any more of them. Or maybe we'll see a bit of an early appearance from Gelhardt now that Rodrigo's got himself in the book. I'm pretty sure, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, have the accumulative yellow cards, is that over now for this second half of the season? Because obviously, if I think there was a few players that we had last game, if they'd have got a yellow card, they would have had to miss the next game in the Premier League. But I feel like that ended at the new year, maybe. Not 100% on that, so someone let me know if the cumulative yellow card rule is still in play for any of our players. Players about to be resumed here. Declan Rice has got a bit of a bloody ear from that kick from Rodrigo, but West Ham are about to take a free kick just inside the Leeds United half. Goes long to the right-hand side, but is dealt with by Liam Cooper. Tyler Adams picks the ball up, and Strauch is able to pass it out to Somerville. Nice little bit of interplay here from Leeds. Somerville into Adams, Adams to Rocker, and back to Strauch, and Leeds are passing the ball around nicely. Goes all the way back to Meslier. Meslier sends it long. 10 minutes in then here. We've had a bit of a stoppage there, so that'll probably be added on at the end of this first half. But I don't think we've been bad. I don't think we've been particularly excellent, but it's been quite a bright start from us. And West Ham don't seem like they're massively getting into the game either, which is also a good sign. Throw-in comes in there from West Ham. Scamacca holds the ball up, but Gnonto is able to intercept his little pass. Goes to Koch and Cooper sends it long. Rodrigo tries to bring it down, but it was a bit hard. And West Ham have picked the ball up again, halfway inside the Leeds half. Michael Brown, I'm not sure on the Verba signing or Woba, given that he's come from RB Salzburg in the Austrian League with Aronson and Rasmus, and both have struggled to adapt. Might be the same of Woba. It might be, yeah, but you've got to think maybe it can't particularly be any worse than what Firpo brings to the table, because you could say the same thing about him. He's struggled to adapt completely to the Premier League. He's been really poor over his stint at Leeds United. Obviously, there's been a lot of injuries in that stint, but he hasn't been good enough. And you've got to think that Woba will come in and be better than him because he's more of a leader. He was the captain of RB Salzburg. He's more of a leader. He's stronger. He's more vocal. You've got to think that that'll be a good organising voice in that back line. And obviously, he already knows the likes of Rasmus Christensen and Brendan Aronson from his time there. So, yeah, I'm hoping that Woba can be a little bit better than what Firpo was. And potentially that might allow Strauch back into his natural position as well. Matt Robinson's saying, good start. I'm happy Ben Rama's on the bench. Yeah, he always does seem to do something against us, doesn't he? Whether that be score or assist. But yeah, he is on the bench tonight. And so hopefully he doesn't come on and do something later on. But you can see them probably actually using him off the bench, because cutting in off that left-hand side, it'd probably be a good option for them against us. Alex Whittaker, Kelvin saying Southampton Forest 0-0. Voba's a good signing, yeah, I think so as well. Alex saying, honestly, I have a good feeling about Woba. It's nice to have another leader in the back line, especially a young leader in the back line. Exactly, yeah. He's 24. He's a leader. He was a captain at Salzburg. He says himself he's very vocal. Him and Rasmus are both very vocal. I watched, someone commented a video from Salzburg where they played a little game of who's more at this or whatever sort of thing, like who's louder, and they were both putting their hands up for how vocal they were being and stuff. And volley there from Declan Rice goes all the way out for a Leeds goal kick. No, it doesn't. It's kept in by Jarrod Bowen very well, and the ball's played down the line to Kufal, who puts it into the box. It goes over everybody. It's come back to the back post for Kehrer. Paqueta tries to pass it into the box, and it's going to go out for a Leeds goal kick. Is there actually microphone issues? There shouldn't be. Just let me know if that continues to happen. I don't really know what else to do with it. It seems to be working fine on my software. Yeah, good feeling. It's a good to have a young leader in the back line. Yeah, I think so. I think it's really good to have that sense of organisation. I think when Cooper's not in the team and we do start with that younger defence, we don't have that level of organisation. But that is starting to lose a little bit of its weight as well, to be honest, because the way that we've been playing recently with Cooper in the team, we don't really seem to have that organisation. So I don't know if that's a coaching issue or an overall defending issue. Paqueta tried a volley into the box there after a corner, and it was hitting a Leeds player in the chest, I think. Yeah, Rob Bailey saying you can see the opposition. Welcome, Rob, by the way. You can see the opposition overhitting crosses to find space at the far post routinely now. Yeah, definitely. That is something that I've covered in videos before. And if I can see it, who's just an idiot on the internet, then Jesse should be able to see that and have some sort of plan to combat that issue. Like, you cannot just look at that and go, oh, that's fine, that's just the way we play. You have to come up with some sort of idea of how you can fix that. And I've actually presented ideas of how to do that as well. So if I can think of resolutions to it, then he should be able to as well. Free kick to Leeds United here as Kehrer Kehrer. I think it was, has just, it's gone through the back of Brendan Aronson. Yes, see you, Matt. Thanks for joining us. Gnonto's just been brought down again there, but I think it was given as a free kick. Michael Brown saying, I'm surprised to see West Ham struggling in the bottom, given that they have spent 170 million on players and only scoring 13 goals in 16 matches. Yeah, like I said at the start, they're a shadow of their former selves, really, and they've definitely got the players and the quality to produce a lot more than that. And no doubt they will by the end of the season. They won't have this run last forever. But we've caught them at a good time whilst they aren't performing, and I'm hoping that means that we can get our 3 points off them now, because I feel like later in the season they're going to be a different animal to contend with, really, and they'll be a lot higher up the league table. So it's kind of good that we're meeting them now rather than when they've got a bit of momentum behind them. West Ham just passing the ball around in the Leeds half here, trying to open something up and create something, but Leeds are pretty tight and compact in there. Ball goes out to Soufal on the right-hand side, who tries to put one in the box, but it's deflected by Gnonto, who seems to be holding his groin after that block. But West Ham have been pushed back to the halfway line. Do you reckon if we do... Alex is saying, do you reckon if we do best West Ham, David Moyes could get sacked? I don't think so. I think that the club that they are, they seem to be quite trusting of managers at the moment, with and especially what's just happened as well, with obviously the vice chairman, or co-chairman, should I say, David Gold, passing away unfortunately recently. I can't see them sacking a manager and making decisions like that so soon after something like that. So I think he stays for the time being, and I think he's totally justified in staying as well. Like what he's done with them since he's come in has been unbelievable. So I think they trust him. I think it's the same as what happened with Bielsa when he got so much more time because of how much credit he had in the bank. And David Moyes has taken West Ham to new heights since he's been back for his second stint. So for me, yeah, I think they leave him in situ for now. Apparently West Ham are yet to score a goal in the opening 15 minutes of a game, and obviously that's just happened again. Tyler Adams with the ball now, tries to carry it to the halfway line, gives it to Pascal Struijk. Leeds haven't really been too penetrative yet. We haven't really created much, but let's hope that we grow into this game and start creating chances, because we really need to capitalise on West Ham not really doing much. ZNMCX is asking where I'm watching it, and that's on Peacock TV, which is American. So it's a legit streaming service. It's just that you have to go through a VPN, which I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that or not, but screw it. Yes, 20 minutes in then, nearly. 0-0. We need to start creating some chances. I can see a lot of fans shaking their heads, saying, why haven't we created anything yet? But, I mean, sometimes you do need time to grow into a game. Declan Rice just winning that header, but Robin Cox is pinging it straight back in there. Ball's been given away by Kehrer, but he manages to recover and give it back to Fabianski, who clears long. Tyler Adams wins the header, though, and Gnonto somehow wins a header as well. West Ham managed to clear, but Leeds are trying to battle for those second balls and do really well there, Somerville. I think that can't be a throw-in. Somerville's just been brought down there, about halfway inside the West Ham half. Surely that is a foul. The first one wasn't, but the second one, he had about 2 or 3 little nibbles at Somerville's feet, and that one at the end, he sort of scraped his studs down the side of his ankle. Definitely was a foul, and Somerville's still down. Jesse Marsh just having a word with the fourth official there. Not sure what he's saying, but probably moaning about that tackle. I don't really get why managers do that, because I feel like it's not going to make any difference whatsoever moaning about a tackle when it's already been and gone, and it's been given as a throw-in. So, I mean, it should have been a foul, but there's no point now. Gnonto got the ball at his feet, then Strauch tries to chip it into Adams, but West Ham are able to head it, and then Kufal puts it out for another throw-in in a similar position. Oh, no, he doesn't. Just perspective. West Ham have kept the ball in, they're trying to break here, but Leeds have won it back again, and it's just like pinball in that midfield at the moment. And it's ended up with a West Ham throw after all that. Michael saying, do you think Leeds will recruit further players in January window? Verba was quite surprised that the club kept quiet. I wonder if any Leeds is keeping incredibly tight-lipped about upcoming signings. Yeah, the only thing that I saw was that we wouldn't be doing a striker. We would only be doing a left back as well as Verba, if like an out-and-out left back. But I mean, I don't know really. It's a weird one. I hope to see more news from Tier 1 sources soon. Then at least we'll know that there's something in the works. But like you say, there's not really been a great amount of news coming out. So great throwing down the line from Aronson to Aronson from Ayling there, and Aronson gives the ball back to Ayling, who's obviously going to try and get a ball in the box here, who does manage to get it in, but it's only gone to Mark Rocker, but Ayling's won it back, and a ball into the box. Fabianski spilt it after a challenge by Gnonto. Ball with Somerville on the edge here. Free kick to Leeds. Free kick to Leeds about 10 yards outside the box. That's a lot better from Leeds, a lot more penetrative, winning that second ball, pressing high, challenging for the ball, and we've won ourselves a free kick in a pretty dangerous attacking position, so that's a lot more positive and a lot better from Leeds. Ayling's first cross wasn't actually great because it just hit Rocker, but then the second ball was able to be won by Ayling and then crossed in by Rocker with his weak foot, and eventually it's led to Leeds getting a free kick in a pretty dangerous position here. Although I don't put much faith in our free kicks because we haven't got a free kick taker and we never ever look like scoring them. Could it change here though? Looks like it could be Aronson or Rocker over this one. Aronson runs over it. Gnonto's runs over it. Rocker hits it into the box as a little chip. Rodrigo tries to put it across the face, but it's gone out for a corner after a deflection by Kufal. It looks like maybe it hit him in the testicles. It's not a bad free kick routine, you know that. Instead of hitting it, Rocker's chipped it high into the box on the far side for Rodrigo to come onto and hit across the box. He's sort of mishit it a little bit, but it's hit Kufal and gone out for a Leeds corner. So, I mean, that's quite a good corner routine, free kick routine, to be fair. It's better than our usual hit into the wall. Corner goes in, it goes over everyone and out for a goal kick on the far side, which is really, really frustrating. Strauch wasn't too far away from it, but it's either front post or over everybody. Rob saying better than Aronson or Harrison hitting it into the stands. Yeah, it's either straight in the wall's face or into the stands. There's no in between, or sometimes they just chip it just over the net and you think, well, that was never going in. You've just tried to make it look close. But I liked that little bit of invention. I mean, we saw what the Netherlands did against Argentina when they did that excellent, clever free kick under the wall where they just passed it. In the World Cup, and it was like, I want to see more of that in the Premier League. Instead of everybody just hitting their free kicks over the bar, I want to see creative, clever free kick routines that actually move the players around in the box and create space for somebody to pass it in rather than just to hit it from from distance where they're probably never going to score from. Football HD, what you're watching it on, mate? Before I said on Peacock TV, which is American through a VPN, which is really frustrating that they don't have all the... In lockdown, when they had all the games on the TV, it was so much better. But obviously now we have to go to ridiculous lengths to be able to watch our club now. And it's... I don't know, I suppose it's always been the case. There's probably more football on TV now than there ever has been in the past, but it's frustrating when you can't watch your team play in the Premier League, which is a global league, which is being broadcast everywhere else but England. But gripe over, West Ham have got the ball here on the halfway line, and Leeds are trying to press high up here. Aronson trying to put a tackle in on Kehrer, but he's missed the ball there, and the long ball from Kehrer has gone all the way through to Meslier, who's able to pick it up. 25 minutes in then, still 0-0. Not been too bad so far. We've been looking a little bit brighter in the last few minutes, but overall we do need to try and create more chances and not put ourselves under pressure by giving the ball away in silly situations. Misjudged jump though there from Aguerd, and Rodrigo's able to keep the ball here. Rodrigo in the opposition half. He's got Ayling overlapping him. Ayling runs down the right-hand side just to the byline and then tries to cross it in. It's gone over everyone. And I think it's going to be a goal kick after Somerville's backwards header goes beyond Fabianski's goal line. Robert, I saying that I think that Jesse has definitely adopted a less expansive approach since the break. Yeah, it does look like we're a little bit tighter. Against Man City, that was one of those ones where you're like, it's Man City, they've got De Bruyne who could open any defence up. And so that was always going to be a bit of a write-off. But I did see issues there that we could have defended better. Obviously, that's not counting the Cooper goal because that was obviously a big mistake. But the other ones are a little bit more subtle defending errors, which I talked about in one of my recent videos. So we have been a little bit less expansive, but we're still making defensive errors, and I'd like to see them cut out to a minimum at least, because we still make too many of them. Michael Brown giving us the latest scores: Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 0, Wolves 0. Oh, Somerville into the box. Gnonto scores his first goal for Leeds United. Get in! We really needed that. Get in, Gnonto. Wilfred Gnonto, the little Italian stallion, has made it 1-0 to Leeds at Elland Road. Excellent finish. First goal for the youngster, and he has deserved it based on everything that he's done on the pitch so far at Leeds United. He's been excellent in his time here, and I'm really, really happy for him that he's got his goal. That is great. He's really earned his position in this team as well. It's not just that we signed him and we have to play him. I think he's been really, really good, and I've loved watching him play. The way he plays, he created that goal. He runs from midfield, gives it into Somerville. Somerville links up with him with a little outside of the foot pass, straight into Gnonto's path, and Gnonto puts it beyond Fabianski for 1-0 to Leeds United. Get in. Excellent little bit of play by the two youngsters there, and Leeds have really a bright future ahead of them with these youngsters. If we can hold on to these players, they're going to be unbelievable in a few years' time, because that was an excellent move put together by some of our youngest players in our squad. Buzzing for him, buzzing for Gnonto. That's excellent from him. Wolves are beating Aston Villa 1-0. It's good to hear Ayling is trying to create. I just wanted to see Rasmus do the same, because I do prefer Rasmus defensively. Yeah, agreed. It's hard to get the best of both worlds. Hopefully, Rasmus is sorting out his defensive side before he starts to venture forward a little bit more. But I think he has ventured forward a little bit more for Denmark and for Salzburg in the past. Maybe he's just trying to get used to the league and make less mistakes before he starts to do that. Rob saying Somerville and Gnonto looking like a combination for years to come. Yeah, exactly. If we can keep hold of them, they seem to be working really well together. Obviously, they linked up for Somerville's goal against West Ham. Against West Ham. Yeah, against West Ham and against Liverpool. And they linked up for the goal against Bournemouth, the winner against Bournemouth. So, yeah, those two look like they're excellent in combination. Here comes Gnonto and Somerville again, driving forward with the ball. Somerville cutting inside with the ball. 5 players around him. but he hasn't managed to get through them all there. Looking forward to seeing them do it for Leeds in Europe in the years to come. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, by the time that we eventually maybe get a European position, even if it's Conference League, then we'll still have them too, and they'll still be fairly young because Gnonto's only 19, turned 19 last year, at the end of last year. So, yeah, it's looking bright for the future for him. Ayling's won the ball here off the West Ham attacker, and he's gone forward into the opposition half. Brennan Aronson now with the ball, passes it out wide to Somerville. Somerville starts entering the box. Out to Aronson, and Aronson can't keep the ball, but Ayling does. He may have come for an offside position. Adams on the edge of the box. Adams chips it into Gnonto. Gnonto shoots again. Straight into Fabianski's gloves that time. But excellent counter-attacking play from Leeds there. Really like the way that we're playing at the moment. Wolves 1-0 over Aston Villa. That Gnonto-Somerville partnership is going to be something special. They have built a good friendship off the pitch as well. Yeah, I could tell that when they did that dance against... I can't remember whether it was against Liverpool or against Bournemouth, but they did a little dance together, and I was like, well, obviously they've formed a little friendship there, so it's good to see that new players are settling in quickly and making friends with the other squad members. But yeah, I'm really liking the look of the way that Leeds are playing, and to be honest, under Jesse Marsh, the attacking side of things has never been too much of an issue because we've always seemed like we had a goal in us. For me, it is the defensive side of things. But if we can score another one, then we give ourselves a little bit more of a cushion, don't we, to try and win this game. But a big 3 points today would be really big for us. At the moment, we're on 17 or 16 points in 16 games. Let me just check the league table, which is about where we're supposed to be. Apparently, a point per game is what you need to stay up in the Premier League. Let's have a look at standings. No, to be fair, it has put us up. So 17 matches played, 19 points if we win this game. So it would have been 17 matches played, 17 points if we'd have drawn this game, which a point per game is what you're supposed to get to stay up in the Premier League. So, yeah, I mean, I'd be happy with a win today. It would be excellent for us to get ahead of that point per game tally. If we were to get on 19 points after 17 games, I'd be fairly happy with that. It put us in 13th, which I think in my Prem predictions, I predicted us 13th. So I think we're in and around where a lot of fans expected us to be. Rob Bailey saying something absolutely heinous in the chat. To be honest, I see echoes of Scum's youth side in the 1990s, which should blossom in the future. Rob, I can't believe you've compared us to them. I know what you mean in terms of the crop of good young players all coming through at the same time, but I can't believe you've just compared us to Scum. Surely you could have found a better team to compare us to that had young players coming through at the same time. But yeah, jokes aside, I get what you mean because we have got a lot of young players who are all coming through. I mean, we've got players like Perkins and Mateo Joseph as well, who look like they've got a bright future ahead of them, as well as people like Joffy. Aronson's not old at all, and neither's Adams. There seems to be quite a generation of players coming through at Leeds. It's just that they're all pretty young, so maybe in a couple of years, when they all start to mature a little bit more. Aronson's just skinned the defender and won Leeds a corner there. When they're all together and a little bit older, we could be dangerous, to be fair. We could be dangerous. Michael saying Gnonto wasn't going to come to Leeds till summer 23. Failure to get Gakpo and Dieng meant Leeds had to bring him in earlier as last minute. Yeah, Jesse himself said that he wasn't ready. Didn't think Gnonto was ready for the Premier League. Obviously, he's been proved wrong, which is an excellent thing for us. But yeah, it was like a panic. Oh, let's just go for somebody we know we can get in Gnonto. But Gnonto's been fantastic. Everybody was crying out for him to get a game, and when he did, he's been excellent. Oh, nearly 2-0 to Leeds, but Aronson squanders the chance. It dropped to him in the box, and he's pinged it over the bar there. I think he's under a bit of pressure there, Aronson, and he's off balance. He's under a little bit of pressure, and he spoons the ball over the bar in the end. But good chance again from a set piece. It shows that we're a little bit more dangerous from set pieces than we really have been for the last couple of years. Ayling tries to play a ball long. It's managed to go into Rodrigo, but Rodrigo is tackled and not adjudged to have fouled by Agard, and West Ham have got a throw in here. Gnonto says a lot about the quality of Victor's scouting. Yeah, potentially, but then, I mean, everybody says, oh, they've done this wrong and they've done this wrong, and then, but they've done this right and they've done this right. About 50% of signings work out realistically. Cooper with a good bit of defending there. About 50% of signings work out realistically, and so that's probably what we've got in the end. It's just that we've had some catastrophic failures like Firpo and most namely Jean-Kevin Augustin. Gnonto was sat on the bench far too well. You could say that he was sat on the bench far too long, but I suppose when he was brought in, he's been this excellent, so maybe he needed that time. You could make either argument. Maybe he needed that time to get settled into life here, and do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. So you can make an argument for either side. Michael Brown saying, I thought 22-23 was going to be Joffy breakthrough, but it's turned into Somerville and Gnonto breakthrough season. It's also turned into Rodrigo up front breakthrough season because he's scored 9 goals. He's currently 5th in the Golden Boot rankings. So, yeah, Rodrigo's done really well as a striker so far. Obviously, he gave that goal away against Arsenal, and he's done some irritating things, but overall, you can't fault 9 goals, really, to this point. Leeds managed to defend a through ball into Pablo Fornals there. But, oh no, it wasn't Fornals. It was a commentator that fooled me. It was Paqueta in the end. Paqueta's probably about 3 foot taller than Fornals. But yeah, dangerous run into the box. Ball from Fornals. Paqueta tries to get there, and Strauch does enough with his shoulder in the back and to his shoulder to put Paqueta off there because it hits the side netting from a tight angle. Rodrigo gets so much unfair stick. People are just assuming the most expensive signing should be the best player ever. Yeah, I think there was fair criticism in Bielsa's reign of Rodrigo because what did he really do? Other than in a few games like the Burnley game where he scored that hat-trick or whatever he did where he chipped the keeper and went round the keeper and scored some excellent goals. Other than that, he hadn't had an excellent... Oh, well done, Meslier. He hadn't really done that well. Oh, God. Meslier just came out and won the ball in a tackle. It rolled to the halfway line where Koufal was, and Koufal tried to chip because Meslier was way off his line, and it hit the roof of the net in the end. Oh, God. That was close. Yeah, so basically, long story short, I think the Rodrigo stick was probably fair enough in Bielsa's time, but since he's been played... I mean, everybody said Rodrigo's a striker, but Bielsa, and then when he's been played as an out-and-out striker, an out-and-out number 9, he scored 9 goals. If he's had a consistent run at striker, and he scored 9 goals in the Premier League, so you can't really fault that. After half a season, he scored 9 goals. If he keeps it up and he scores 18 goals by the end of the season, nobody can doubt him, really. If he scores... Yeah, but that's not even... Yeah, we've not even had half the season, so let's just conservatively say he's not going to, but like if he carried on at the same rate and scored another 9 goals, he's done excellently. For a team in our position, to score 18 goals would be unbelievable, but even to score 9 goals at this stage, I'm really happy with him. So I think as a football fan, you've got to understand what's fair criticism and not, don't you, really? Because, like, we know that some players... That's not what I mean, actually. Like, when... You've got to understand when you've made a mistake, or when... Like, you're allowed to change your mind, basically. A lot of people make up their mind on somebody and go, oh, no, he's terrible. And then when he does something good, they go, oh, well, he's only done one good thing. Like, I like to hold my hands up and say, fair play, I didn't rate Rodrigo in Bielsa's reign, but I think now he's been played in a natural number 9 position. As long as he's scoring goals, I'm happy with him. Because he doesn't link up the play that well, really. But you know what I mean. He's been decent this season, so I'm happy with him. Gnonto has already won a handful of caps with Roberto Mancini, Italian national team. He's the youngest ever Italian national team player. Most of their UEFA Nations League matches. Yeah, people are trying to argue that was because Italy didn't qualify for the World Cup, and they were. But I mean, he's been excellent for us, so I can't see why it would be like too much of a stretch to imagine that he would be a good player for the Italian national team, and not just there for the sake of it. So I don't think somebody like Roberto Mancini would play a player just for the sake of it anyway. So yeah, Gnonto, he's been unbelievable for us so far. He's been such an exciting player. That's what I like to see. Somebody who picks the ball up, carries it, tries to take people on, tries to create stuff, and he's got an assist and a goal and a goal creating action for the Liverpool one as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with Gnonto. I think he's an absolute coup for £5 million. West Ham have got a free kick then inside the Leeds half. It's put into the box by Sofal, but it's headed away by Leeds. Aronson trying to keep the ball here, but not strong enough again against Sofal. Leeds hunting in packs here, trying to win the ball back. Aronson and Strout going off Bowen, but Bowen's managed to go around all of them and get a ball into the box. It's been struck by Fornals. Oh, Leeds have conceded, but it's offside. That was such a weird goal. Ball was crossed in by Bowen, who did really well to take on Aronson and Strauch. He then crossed it into the far post. Fornals mishit the shot and it was deflected. Then Paqueta headed the ball towards goal. Then that ball went over everyone to to Souček in an offside position, who headed it at Meslier. Meslier caught but spilt. Then Souček dived and headed it in again, but it was offside. It was the most calamitous offside goal I've ever seen. X Boomer X, I'm watching it on Peacock TV, the American streaming service. Obviously you have to use a VPN to do that, but obviously I have to pay for both. So West Ham breaking now with Scamacca. Scamacca trying to put a ball low across the face of the box, and Strauch's made a tackle and it's missed by Fornals, and I think it's going to be a penalty. I think it is going to be a penalty to West Ham here. Strauch brought down a West Ham player in the box off the ball, really. I think it's going to be a penalty to West Ham. I can't see how it wouldn't be. Ball into the box from Scamacca, and then Strauch tries to put a foot in on Bowen, who comes across Strauch's body. Yeah, Bowen nicks the ball off Strauch's feet as it's going towards Strauch. Strauch has no idea he's there. He just comes past him like that. And then Strauch just trips Bowen because Strauch doesn't touch the ball, so it's going to be a penalty. I can't see how it wouldn't be. VAR are looking at this. Yeah, I literally could see Strauch's face go as soon as he'd done it, so you know that it's almost an admission of guilt there. Scamacca does really well to cut inside and play that ball, and it's a clever pass into the box, but as Bowen's trying to come across Strauch, the referee, David Good, is going over to that dreaded VAR monitor now. It's going to be a penalty right at the end of that first half. We do concede before half-time a lot. Yeah, I can't see any reason why it wouldn't be a penalty, to be honest. Strauch's just not checked his shoulder. He's thought, oh, I can go in and win that, and then he's not checked his shoulder to see who's coming. Literally all it needed was for Strauch. Yeah, penalty. All it needed for Strauch was to just check his shoulder as the ball's coming to him. Check your shoulder, and you'll know that somebody's coming towards you. So you'll go, oh, maybe I won't dive in for that. He didn't dive in, but I won't stick a foot out trying to win the ball when there's somebody coming, and it makes a big difference. So yeah, it's ended up being a penalty to West Ham. We do concede a lot before half time. It's not good at all. I'm gutted, to be honest, that we've done that, because we were starting to get into the game a little bit there. We created our goal, which was excellent. We started to create a few more chances, but yeah, we've gone and given away a penalty, a cheap penalty, just before half-time, which, I mean, if Meslier saves, excellent. Alex Winter, I've never seen a Leeds team so prone to mistakes. Yeah, we make so many mistakes. The one in the City game with Cooper, this isn't horrendous. It's not unforgivable, but it's just something that you should know to check your shoulder before going for a ball like that in the box. Rob saying tired mistake. Yeah, but we shouldn't really be tired, should we, at half time? Paqueta steps up to take this penalty. He takes a little. Yeah, he scored it. He took a little stutter to try and fool Meslier, and it works. So it is now 1-1. Yeah, he stuttered there, Paqueta, and then he's put it in the top right corner. Mellier's top left. Mellier's gone the right way, but not enough to win the ball. So unfortunately, 1-1 now. Half time is nearly upon us. We've got the additional time there. Yeah, he's stopped, he's stuttered, and then he's put it in the top corner on Mellier's side, where Meslier went the right way, but it wasn't enough to stop it, unfortunately. Gutted. Avoidable mistake. Really avoidable mistake. Cooper clears the ball long here into the corner. I think Agaird's going to shield it out for a throw-in. Yes, he is. And West Ham are going to take their time over this and try and probably run the clock down to half-time. I haven't seen how much additional time there is yet. It's probably just about to, 3 minutes added time, and we're already a minute and a half into that. So a minute and a half left of additional time, roughly. It's always a sucker punch to get hit with a goal at half-time. But it's happened, and we're going to have to deal with it and show some character to try and win the second half. Leeds playing with fire a little bit there as Cooper loses the ball. He didn't lose the ball, actually. I apologise, Mr. Liam Cooper, as he nearly loses the ball, but gets whacked in the face. Yeah, I'm annoyed about that. Conceded right before half-time again. It's so annoying because it just takes the momentum out of you. It changes the team talk. Jesse could have gone into that second half talking about retaining the lead and going on and adding to it maybe, but now we're back at square one again after scoring a really good goal. Meslier with the ball now, picks it up, and once he kicks this down the field, it'll probably be half-time. 20 seconds to go then of this first half. I don't think there's going to be anything else in this for Leeds, but Ayling's battling here with Souček. Ayling wins the throw-in on the halfway line. Ayling's still not taking the throw-in. Ayling forward to Gnonto. Gnonto with a little pass to Aronson. Aronson wasn't offside, linesman. Somerville was offside, but Aronson wasn't. And Somerville went, okay, I won't touch the ball then. So how is that offside? I hate stuff like that. I know Jesse's fuming as well. I hate stuff like that. That is just stupid misapplication of the rules. And you're a professional linesman. What are you doing? The little header was flicked down. Somerville went, I'm offside, didn't touch it. And then he gives a offside against him, even though Aronson was the one who was onside and picked up the ball. Gnonto is the third youngest Italian scorer in the Premier League history and the youngest Leeds scorer at 19 since James Milner at 18 scored for Leeds against Everton in April 2004. Michael coming through with the stats and trivia. That is half-time. Gnonto then with the goal for Leeds and Paqueta with the penalty for West Ham United. We go in level at the break, 1-1. Very frustrating. Jamie saying, why can't we ever keep a lead? Yeah, we probably would have, well, we definitely would have kept a lead if we hadn't have given away that penalty right at the end. So that's really frustrating. Let me just take that 45 minutes back. Yeah, it's really frustrating. Jack saying always in the 45 minute. Yeah, or 45th even. Yeah, it's so frustrating. And like I said, that's just something where... I'm going to take my headphones off because I'll get American adverts. That's just something that's really frustrating because we didn't need to give it away, really. I don't really know why Strauch wouldn't check his shoulder in that situation. I like Strauch. I've got nothing against him. I just think sometimes him and Robin Koch and players like that, they just don't do basics of defending that you're taught to do, where you're supposed to... If the ball is coming across to you in the box and you think, I've got a free shot at this, I can clear it, check your shoulders. He had enough time to do a quick scan, as they call it, to see if there was somebody coming onto him. And as Bowen was coming onto him, really, another defender would have scanned. Bowen's coming onto him. Instead of then going forward to try and win the ball, he'd have stepped back a little bit and shielded Bowen across the box instead of towards goal. Across the box, and Bowen would have had to give the ball back out to a winger or something, and then Leeds can squeeze and go up and get it. But just not checking your shoulder, it's like, well, what are you doing? Like, just check your shoulder. Little things like that. You check your shoulder, and you've not conceded a penalty there, and that's why it's frustrating for me, because it's always the avoidable ones that frustrate me so much. Stuff where somebody puts up, like Harvey Barnes when he scores against us, when he just puts one in the top bins, and you're just like, right, well, there's nothing we can do about that. He's scored an unbelievable goal there. That's fine, but giving away goals like what we did with that penalty there is really annoying, because it's so avoidable. Just watching the Gnonto goal back and the way that he drove through the midfield, gave it into Somerville, got the little 1-2, and then put it in the back of the net with aplomb was excellent. Here he is carrying the ball across the pitch, then making a run inside, and Dawson goes too wide and allows that little gap for Gnonto to run through, and then Gnonto with his weaker foot bangs it into the bottom corner. Excellent goal from Leeds. So I'm happy with that part of it. With the emergence of Gnonto and Somerville, what is the future of Jack Harrison? I think there's a time and a place for Jack Harrison. I think certain games will suit him more than a Gnonto or a Somerville. Like, I know against Newcastle, Jack Harrison started over Somerville, and maybe that's because Jesse thought that he fit the bill a little bit more for that. And that is the beauty of having options in your team and having squad depth. Like, Man City can look at playing against a team, and they can say, well, okay, well, this game looks like it needs Foden on that side, and then they might go next week and go, well, this game looks like it might need Riyad Mahrez. Obviously, our players aren't onto the level of that, but it gives you that squad depth gives you those options to be able to say, right, well, this game against Newcastle we think suits Jack Harrison more, and then this game against West Ham suits Somerville more. And I think in that sense, Jack Harrison will get his game time, depending on who we're against. If we want good crosses into the box, and beating a man down the line and taking the ball wide and then getting the ball into the box, Jack Harrison's probably your man. If you want somebody like Gnonto who's fast and direct, then you probably go for Gnonto or Somerville. Rob Bailey saying he looked tired to me. Playing it left back with his big frame is not ideal. To me, that's the kind of tired mistake you get from playing a player out of position. Yeah, that's also a factor in there. I feel like no matter what position you're playing and no matter how tired you are, the basics of football is to scan. If you've ever seen videos of... There's videos I've seen on Twitter of people like De Bruyne and Iniesta and stuff like that, and obviously they are levels above Pascal Strauch at left back. But the elite players, and if any player aspires to be elite, you need to be constantly checking your shoulders. There's a video where De Bruyne is in the midfield waiting to receive the ball from a defender or a winger. And before he receives the ball, he honestly goes... He must scan 5 times before he receives the ball. So when he receives the ball, and Messi does it all the time, he knows exactly who's around him, what direction that they were travelling in, and basically then his best course of action with the ball. And defensively, it's not even that complex. It's check your shoulder. If there's an attacker coming onto you in the box, just make sure you don't dive in on them, and that's it. Just make sure you don't dive in and make a bad challenge and give away a penalty. So I don't know if that is necessarily the excuse, but I also do think that Max Wober will help out with that. And if Pascal Struijk can go and play his ideal position of left centre-back, and that we can play Wober on the left-back position, then maybe we will get more of that sort of concentrated, I know exactly what I'm doing in that position from Pascal Struijk. Michael Brown saying, if Llorente had made that mistake as Pascal, you can imagine the Leeds content creators will call for him to be dropped. Yeah, I mean, I try to give people their fair dues, but I feel like Struijk hasn't done that anywhere near as many times as what Llorente has done. And there's some of the mistakes that Llorente has made where he's just a complete head loss. You're just like, what is going on? Why has he done that? But if he'd come in, I can imagine, a lot of people would have said he's terrible, get him off or whatever. But I don't think anybody should be making that mistake. And so I really like Pascal Struijk, and I think he's one of our best defenders, or will be in the long term. But he needs to do better than that in that situation. Paul G saying, was not a bad half for me, can actually enjoyed it for his game. Yeah, it feels like we're losing, doesn't it? Because we conceded right at the end of that half. But if you go back to early on in that half, the first 5-10 minutes, West Ham didn't really create anything. We didn't create anything either, but we were fairly tight at the back. We didn't let them create too much. And then as we grew into the game, through into the middle of the first half, we grew into the game and we started creating chances and we got our goal and we looked more exciting and interested. We had overlaps down that side. And again, to give people the fair dues, Ayling was better than Rasmus in going forward areas. I don't think Ayling's as good as Rasmus defensively, but Ayling overlapped, which we haven't seen too much of Rasmus doing, and that created chances for us down that side. So potentially I want Rasmus to be doing that more as well, so we have both defenders doing that sort of thing. But yeah, it wasn't a terrible first half. I think it was quite enjoyable. I think we did okay, and then until we gave away that mistake right at the end. If we'd have gone in 1-0 up, everybody would have gone, that's an excellent first half, we're really happy with that. But because we've conceded, everybody's like, well, that's terrible, and isn't it? But not the end of the world. And Jack underneath that comment is saying, I think we can win this still. Yeah, I definitely think that we can win this still. I think it's definitely a winnable game. Michael Brown saying, with Sinistera to come back, who would you leave out, Gnonto or Somerville? Yeah, I keep forgetting about Sinistera as well, but from the bits of him that I've seen as well, he also looks really good. So for me, it's about the defence more than anything, shoring up that, but I've gone on about that for too long now. But Sinistera, who do you drop, Gnonto or Somerville? I think Sinistera comes back on the bench, and then when he gets his game time, he will be coming off the bench a bit later on in games, and then potentially he starts to win his place back through training and how he's done in the games. But Sinistera's definitely got a level of quality that we really need in this team, and I think he's been excellent in the games he's played. It's just hope that he's not too injury prone forever. Would you leave out Somerville or Gnonto? I think it's a bit of a toss-up, but like I said with the Harrison stuff, it's like, who do you need for what game? Like, Sinistera's probably got that little bit of star quality where he's probably got a bit better set-piece delivery, maybe, from direct free kicks at least. He's probably better at shooting than Somerville and Gnonto. But yeah, I think Sinistera does deserve his position back if he earns it. Kelvin saying awareness, instinctive, you can't teach that. Yeah, I think to a certain extent you're right, but I think all players should be checking their shoulders. Really, if you're a Premier League player and you're not checking your shoulders, then there's something wrong, I think. Rob saying I simply cannot forget Diego's step over to put Brentford through for a goal months ago. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when I was thinking about Llorente and everybody slagging him off. Well, it's like, well, he did make some horrendous errors in those games, and you've got to think, well, you can't reward that with a place in the team. You've got to say, well, you dropped now for that because it really wasn't good enough. Jeff Sanning, welcome. Thoughts on how we looked? It seems like the counter was one of the few times. There were a couple of West Ham looked dangerous. We looked okay, but Rodrigo slowed up a couple of plays. I think that may be a little bit harsh on what Leeds had done. I think Leeds didn't start excellently, but we grew into that half and we started to create chances about halfway through the half, and we obviously got that really good goal through Gnonto. But Leeds had created a little bit more, especially down that right-hand side where Ayling had been overlapping, linking up with the likes of Rocker and Aronson to try and get balls into the box, and I think that was a lot better. We did okay from set pieces, making a few little chances, so I think Leeds did all right then. And I don't think West Ham looked that dangerous, although they had a few chances where they were able to run into the box and they were able to get behind the defence. They were forced wide by good defending from Pascal, and Meslier came out and made a tackle as well. So I think we've done all right, to be honest, in that first half. I don't think that West Ham have had an excellent amount of chances. They wouldn't, let's face it, they wouldn't have scored if they didn't get that penalty. So I think we've done well there. Does Voba make any difference in your opinion, and who would you put on the back line? I've actually done a full video about that, Jack, if you want to check that out. I did a full video with like a tactics board and everything explaining how Voba and the Leeds defence might shore things up at the back. So that was like 2 videos ago. You'll know which one it says. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got a picture of him on it. So yeah, I'd recommend checking that one out if you haven't seen that one already. Richard Jones saying Leeds leaving gaps at the back again. Yeah, I think we have left a few gaps at the back, but I don't think we've been as bad as we have been previously at leaving gaps at the back. Like Rob was saying before, that we sort of have been a little bit less expansive since we came back from the World Cup, and Jesse's sort of worked on a few things. I think we do still leave a few gaps at the back, but for example, when Fornal, we were caught out and Fornals was able to put Paqueta in behind our defence, but when he did that, Pascal tracked the run really well and he was with him the whole time, shoulder to shoulder, to just push him enough so that he was pushed, he was forced wide. It wasn't enough to be a foul, but he was forced wide and then wasn't able to get anything off. So I think we've covered well, even though sometimes teams might get in behind us, we've covered quite well there. And so I don't think it's been too bad at leaving gaps at the back this time. I think definitely earlier in the season we've been bad at leaving attacks and even leaving gaps. And even against Man City, we did that a lot of times with Jack Grealish getting in the back post multiple times, and it was just a good job that he was horrendous at finishing. So, yeah, we have got that issue still, but I don't think it's been too bad in this game, to be honest. I think we've been okay in this game at doing that sort of thing. Jack saying, do we win this before the next half starts, yes or no? At the start of the stream, I think it was Kelvin said score predictions. I said 2-1 to Leeds, so that's still on, to be honest. We could still score another one and go and win this game, and I think I'll stick by what I said. I think we're going to win 2-1. Can't believe that they have given Diego Llorente a 3.5-year contract. Yeah, I can't either. I can understand trying to maintain somebody's value, but 3.5 years seems a long time for a 30-year-old. I think if they'd have given him a 2-year contract extension just to sort of extend his value and his worth, then I would have understood that. But I think 3.5 years or whatever it is, 3 years, 3.5 years is too much to give him. I don't really know what his place is at the club now, really, because he sort of, I think himself would probably be wanting to start, but he doesn't. So maybe back to Spain is a good idea for him, and Charlie Creswell can be sort of deputising in that bench role when he comes back from Millwall. So yeah. Leeds scored late in the second half. Yes, I agree. Leeds 3-2. Yeah, I'm going to go for 2-1. Alex Whittaker saying 3-2. Get your score predictions in the chat then, everybody, for full time, and we'll see how they play out. Predict your goal scorer if you want as well, just for the crack of it. Headphones are going back on now because Leeds United and West Ham United have just come out for the second half. I will let you know if there's been any changes. Not that I can see at the moment, but I will let you know if I can see any. I don't think there has been. Would you take Bamba Dieng again, lol? No, I don't think so. Given the way he messed us round, I don't think he's the sort of personality that I would want. If he's the sort of person who didn't really care to be here in the first place, then I would say no. CW Games, do you think this is a game where drama could have been tested to see where he's in the pecking order? I get what you mean, but I think... Oh, thank God for that. Rocker just gave the ball away for a West Ham counter-attack, but it was given as a foul. I haven't started the blooming timer, have I? I hate it when I do this, because then I've got to... 2-1. It's 2-1. Scamacca's just absolutely battered one in. How can we score right before concede right before half-time and concede right after half-time as well? It's an absolute joke. I'm fuming about that. Oh, for God's sake. Who gave the ball away? It just went straight to Scamacca and he just battered it in. Excellent shot, though, from him. So Cock gives the ball away into Aronson. Gives the ball into Aronson. Aronson passes it straight to Scamacca, who puts it in the bottom corner from the edge of the box. I shouldn't have put him on the bloody graphic, should I? I'm fuming about that. Again, a mistake. Why is it always... That's 2 mistakes, 2 goals. Aronson just plays a loose pass, supposed to be to Rocker, and then 25 yards out, Scamacca just bends it in the bottom corner, and we've given ourselves a mountain to climb a minute into the second half. I need to sort out my timer because it's wrong. Right, timer should be about right now. Oh, I'm fuming about that. Yeah, heads will be gone because we've just had a half-time team talk about keeping it tight and then going out and winning the game. And we've conceded within a minute. I really want Noah Lang. He would fit right in. Apparently he's got attitude problems, but I don't know how much truth there is in that. Please bring in another forward. Joffrey needs to go out on loan for more game time and development. Yeah, I don't think Joffrey's getting enough game time for where he is in his career. So maybe if we do get another striker, it would be a good idea for him to go on loan. Aronson, yeah, he could have either turned then or just actually passed it into Rocker's feet like he was trying to do, and he's just given the ball straight to Scamacca, and he's just put it in the bottom corner with an excellent strike. It's a really good finish, but he should never have even had the ball there because Aronson bloody gave it to him. So I'm speechless. I'm so annoyed about that. Why do we do stuff like that straight away? Straight away after half time. Straight away. I can't believe he's done that because we'll have had a half-time team talk about not conceding early and going and getting a winner eventually. But we've come out, we've passed the ball straight to their striker, and he's just curled it in the bottom corner from 25 yards out. Like, what is that? It's a really good goal from Scamacca, but what? Why have we given the ball to him there? Why? Fuming. Absolutely fuming. Scamacca with the ball again here. Scamacca tries to play it across, but it goes to Luke Ayling. Best thing we can hope for is that Leeds get an answer straight away here. Aronson with the ball, plays it down the line to Rodrigo. Rodrigo breaking into the box. Rodrigo across the box, and it's cleared by Agard, or Rice actually it was. Fornals now tries to bring it out and gives it out to Souček. Souček plays it down the line to Scamacca, but Cooper's able to clear that up. Leeds have won the ball back here, but nearly given it away again. Now Struijk with the ball, passes it into Somerville. Somerville has got a man on him, but manages to win a free kick just inside the Leeds United half. Leeds United really need to go and get an equaliser here early on and then allow ourselves to build back into the game, and then Alex Whittaker's 3-2 prediction could be on. Ball out wide with Ayling here. Ayling takes on his defender and gets beyond him, but falls over and doesn't get anything for it. This could go one of two ways. We could get an early equaliser and go on and win the game, or we could start conceding more and more goals here. I can't believe we've allowed that to happen so soon. Fornals now with the ball, breaking, gives it to Jared Bowen, who gets beyond Struijk, but Struik's managed to force him out wide. Back into Fornals on the edge of the box, played down the line again to Paqueta, who manages to play an excellent pass into Jared Bowen. Now Fornals into the box, and Cott clears, and then Fornals' second bite of the cherry does get dragged wide. The next goal, I think, wins the game if we score soon enough. Yeah, but if we score the next goal, that's a draw, not a win. I assume you mean if we score, then we'll go on to win. If they score, then they've won. Which, yeah, you're probably right, and we do need it soon. West Ham will sit back now and break up the play. They don't seem to be sitting back and breaking up the play too much so far. They seem like they're actually pushing on a little bit and trying to get another one to kill us. From trying to come back into this, and they've got the ball again here off Leeds. Leeds need to really try and get a grip of this game now, because I think we're starting to lose our heads a little bit. The problem is our goal was probably against the run of play. Their goal was as well, to be fair. Well, there wasn't a run of play, actually. The second half had kicked off and they scored. There wasn't even a run of play. It's just that we gave them the ball and they went, right, all right, thanks, we'll score. Come on, Leeds. If we get back into this soon enough, there's still a very good chance of winning it, but we shouldn't have to score 3 goals to win a game. That's basically this season what we've said is we have to score 3 goals to win a game because we always concede. Gnonto trying to pressure Kufal in the corner, but Kufal's only managed to get it out as far as Pascal Struijk, who's given it into Mark Rocker, out wide to Tyler Adams. Into Gnonto's feet on the touchline. Gnonto inside to Somerville. Nice little interchange with Brendan Aronson. Brendan Aronson tries to pass it into the box and it's deflected. Gets cleared long by West Ham, but Leeds have managed to win the ball back again. This is good from Leeds, winning the ball back like this is what I want to see. I want to see us winning the ball back within the first 5 to 10 seconds of losing it and then going and attacking again. Leeds have won another free kick here inside the centre circle. Somerville with the ball now. Tries to pass it into Rodrigo and is just cut out by Craig Dawson there. Fabianski sends the ball long after a pass back from Dawson. Cock and Ayling play a little bit of heading tennis to get the ball down onto the deck. Ayling tries to play the ball inside and it's picked up by Declan Rice, but Leeds have won it back again with those second balls, which is what I like to see. This is positive from Leeds, winning the ball in good positions. Tyler Adams now with the ball. Gives it back into Rocker again, about 40 yards out. Tries to chip it into Gnonto's path, but doesn't quite make it there. High foot there from West Ham player, just on the corner of the box. So it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Ayling went in for a header and I think Fornals. Yes, Fornals tried to do a bicycle kick clear and Ayling was going in for a header at the time. I mean, Fornals makes clear contact with the ball, But Ayling's putting his head in there, and that is dangerous play. So it's been given as a free kick to Leeds United. Chance for us to get the ball into the box and sort of see what we can do with this chance. It's from sort of the corner of the box as well, so it's a chance to put a right footer on it and sort of bend it around the wall and put it into that cliched corridor of uncertainty. But if you put it between the defence and the goalkeeper, it's quite a good area to attack and to aim for the Leeds players here. It looks like it might be Rocker and Aronson over it. Oh, it was a little layoff from Aronson to Rocker, who curled one into the box, a bit of a chipped ball. And then Cooper's header comes off a West Ham defender, but for some reason it's given us offside. But I think that, again, a free kick where it was designed to move the opposition round in the box a little bit, and I like it. It nearly worked. CW Games, I was saying about drama before the Scamacca goal. I was saying I can totally understand what you mean. We do need to sort of ascertain where drama is in the pecking order, but at the moment, when we're desperately in need of points, can we really afford to try players out? Really, I know we've seen drama before, but can we really afford too much to try young players out who aren't really that proven? When it's not like we've got injuries and we have to play him. Like, we've got Ayling and Rasmus Christensen both fit, so I feel like you kind of, if they didn't play Ayling or Rasmus, people would be, and we lost, and issues came from that side. It's an easy scapegoat for us all to have a go at Marsh, saying, why did you pick our third choice right back? So I totally get what you mean, because we do need to see where he is, but maybe the FA Cup's the good idea for him. Good strike there from Rodrigo from outside the box, and it's just gone past Fabianski's post, but that is positive from Rodrigo. That's a lot more positive from him. He's just turned and he's just thought, right, let me have a shot, and it wasn't too bad in the end. It's better from Rodrigo, that actually, just having a look up, hitting it early, seeing if he can beat the keeper, and it wasn't too far away. So yeah, Rob saying 2 individual errors, 2 goals. That's what I feel like I broke a record, but every time I do a live stream, I find myself saying, if we hadn't conceded goals from mistakes, then we would have been fine. I mean, even in the Man City game, if we hadn't given that goal away, it would have been 2-1, and then we had that Joffy chance that nearly made it 2-2. Individual errors leading to goals is our single biggest enemy, and we've done it so many times. And that's what frustrates me more than anything, is that I know that those players aren't donkeys, but they keep making decisions and errors that make them look like absolute donkeys. Yeah, square pegs, round holes as well. West Ham have got a free kick here. Koufal's going to try and put this in the box. Aronson maybe needed a break. Yeah, I mean, potential for Harrison to come in for him and try and do something a little bit different, and maybe Aronson might get a break when Sinistera comes back, and Sinistera might play in that, because I felt that Sinistera was actually doing well when he came more central. I think I suggested it in one of my videos ages ago that if Sinistera played centrally, he might be the answer to some of our creativity issues. And so I still believe that, because I think he did get played there for a game or two, and I think he did really, really well there at creating things. So maybe Sinistera coming back when he does come back, gives Aronson a little chance for a breather, and Aronson can get his head about him again and try and get himself back into the games, because he hasn't been as good as he can be, let's say. Somerville's just gone through Koufal there. It wasn't intentional really, but a lot of West Ham staff are all off the bench going mental. But grow up, basically, West Ham. I hate it when the commentators say stuff like that, as if Somerville's just gone and assaulted him when all he did was try and win the ball. But I mean, it probably was a revenge tackle because Soufal did just wipe Somerville out for no reason. But Somerville has gone in for a bit of revenge, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, I haven't seen a replay yet, so I'll reserve judgment to then. But Somerville has won himself a yellow card. Excuse me. Somerville has won himself a yellow card there. Soufal is still down. Soufal. He's run the risk of a red card here. Grow up, commentator. Who is the commentator on this? I recognise his voice. He's one of those ones that's just... He's so miserable about everything. It's like he doesn't even like football. It's like he's not actually enjoying football. Click looks like he's warming up, though, getting ready to come on. Jamie Miller saying football suicide. Another defeat snatched from the jaws of victory. Yeah, it does seem like that way, doesn't it? I mean, it doesn't even seem that way. It is that way. We literally scored a lovely goal and then have given away 2 stupid mistakes. I'm not sure what Click's going to do that will improve us enough to score 2 goals or even 1. I like Click, but I don't know if he's a game changer, really. Commentator's still going on about Somerville's tackle on Soufal, which wasn't even that bad. Oh, long ball into the box there, which Paqueta, had he got a good volley, Fornals, had he got a good volley on it, would have been 3-1, and Leeds just weren't switched on from the restart. Alex Whittaker saying, honestly, at this point in the game, I'd take a point again. Yeah, I mean, that would put us on a point per game, which is what you need to survive in the Premier League. But as Jamie said, that's from the jaws of that's defeat from the jaws of victory, or a draw from the jaws of victory, because we just given away 2 chances. Leeds look to near, maybe not. Oh, again, all the decisions going against Leeds. Leeds have got... we're battling there for the ball. And then Gnonto's adjudged to have fouled... Oh, even though Soufal pushed Gnonto over and he fell into the other defender, and it's somehow a free kick to West Ham. But looks like Jack Harrison's coming on as well. Jack Harrison and Click are coming on for Brendan Aronson, who we said hadn't been to his best, hadn't been excellent, needs a bit of a breather. Jesse giving him a big hug, and Somerville off as well. So experience on, youth off. Let's see if they can do anything. I mean, we may get some Klickhausen as well, which might rile up West Ham a little bit. But I'm imagining that they probably wouldn't let themselves get riled up if they're winning. But you should expect some incoming Klickhausen. Let's hope Jack smashes it, likes a goal against West Ham. Yeah, but he likes a goal against Newcastle as well, Jack Harrison, doesn't he? And he didn't really do anything in that game, particularly. So let's hope that changes here. How do we go from 1 up in the 45th to 1 behind in the 46th? Yeah. I mean, that's the questions you've got to ask yourself as a Leeds fan, isn't it? That's just what happens being Leeds. We do stupid stuff like that. It's... I've got no words for it. It's awful, isn't it? The fact that we will do that. The fact that we are... the fact that we're capable of giving away a lead like that. When we had a well-worked goal. We'd played pretty well. And then... all of a sudden, we're 2-1 behind, and we're having to fight for our lives to get back in the game again. And as well, because we're now behind, the later it gets, the more we'll be stretched trying to get back into the game, and the more they'll have chances to get in behind us, which is what they've been trying to do with the likes of Scamacca and Bowen. So Paqueta making third-man runs as well, and Fornals. So they just look like they're trying and we'll get more joy the later the game goes in trying to get in behind us. Excuse me. You know what it's like when you go back to work at the start of January. You're absolutely knackered. I don't mean that this is work, by the way, before anyone says anything. I have a job as well. So West Ham with a free kick here after a foul on Paqueta. Looks to be Kufal and Bowen stood over it, both picking up bits of grass and throwing them to see what winds, the direction the wind's in, as if that's actually going to affect their free kicks. Like they're actually clever enough to work out the trajectory that they need to do based on the wind. I mean, if it goes in now, I look silly, don't I? It nearly did. It nearly did. There's still a chance. And Adams manages to clear, but Fornells have still got the ball, but it's offside. Thank God for that. I shouldn't tempt fate like that, should I? Thank God for that linesman. I think it's the other one that I was... Not the one that I was slagging off in the first half, the other one. I think we're waiting for a ball to come back or something. I know we're playing on now. Meslier with the ball out to Mark Rocker. Into Robin Cox's feet. Back into Mark Rocker. Mark Rocker looks to bring the ball forward. Mateus Click in the right back position. Gives it out to Ayling on the halfway line. Back into Rocker in the middle. Not convinced that Jesse is getting us anywhere except the Championship. Haven't had a confidence going into a match since after the Chelsea game. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying before though, if you look at the table, if we were to get a draw tonight, we'd have exactly a point per game and we'd be in 14th place, I think, or something like that anyway, similar, 14th or 15th, which is, to be honest, where nearly all of us had predicted at the start of the season. I think I said 13th by the end of the season, but a point per game really is what you need to stay up. But we had aspirations of not just scraping staying up this season, of actually managing to ball down the line from Gnonto into Adams' feet. Has done really well there. Adams with the ball inside. Ball goes to Click and then to Harrison. Back out to Adams. Adams looks hesitant to put it in the box, so gives it to Gnonto. Gnonto with a little 1-2 and the ball into the box and nobody's there, but Ayling is there at the back post. Ayling now picks it up on the other side. Ayling does the worst cross I've ever seen, and it's a goal kick. Not convinced. Yeah, going to the Championship. Yeah, you need a point per game to stay up in the Premier League, and that's what we're pretty much on at the moment. Pretty much bang on. But like you say, you don't really go into games with any confidence anymore, do you? Hopefully, we start playing some teams like Forest and Wolves maybe as well towards the end of the season, but. It's hard to see where your next 3 points... It's easy to say, oh, well, we'll probably get some draws because we will, but it's hard to say where your 3 points are coming from. Never mind just 1 point. West Ham haven't won in 5 games. And it's Leeds United, Jack is saying. And yeah, it is just so Leeds, isn't it, for West Ham to come and beat us here at Elland Road. I said at the start, given where they are and the way they're playing... It's at home, we should be winning. Both Forest and Wolves still winning, so Leeds need something from this match. Michael's saying, yeah, let me have a look at the Premier League. Actually, I think I've got to open another tab on my PC. Yeah, Leeds go down to 16th with this result. And West Ham go up into 14th. But we have got a game in hand on everybody except... Brighton, Palace, and a few others. Most teams have played 18. We've only played 17. So we've got a chance to get that back. If we then go on to 18 games and we win, then there's a chance, isn't there? Jack Harrison with the ball now, trying to drive, but there's 5 players around him. Does really well to flick it back. Goes into Gnonto's feet. Rodrigo in the box. Rodrigo cuts it across the face of goal, but he's completely dragged it. It wouldn't have counted as it was offside anyway, but that is better from Leeds, creating a little bit of something there. Ball into Gnonto. Yeah, he tried to poke it through to Rodrigo. Rodrigo's shot was terrible anyway, but better. It is a lot better. Yes, Forest and Wolves are both winning. Although the Wolves win isn't... who are Wolves playing? Let's have a look. Premier League. Forest winning's not that bad because they're against Southampton, who are bottom anyway. And we kind of need, like, it doesn't really matter who it is that goes down as long as it's not us. But if those teams could lose for us, then that would be ideal. And Southampton are losing, so either Forest or Southampton losing. But you'd rather Southampton lost, to be honest, because they're lower. They have less points. Rodrigo! Get in! Rodrigo's equalised. And what were we saying before? He has come good. Rodrigo is a striker. He's being played as a striker. And because he's being played as a striker, he's just got his 10th goal of the Premier League. Throw-in comes into the halfway line. Tyler Adams gets the ball and carries it. Nice little run inside from Jack Harrison, who plays the ball into Rodrigo, who puts it in the bottom corner from the edge of the box. Excellent play. Jack Harrison and Tyler Adams link it up to give Rodrigo that finish. 2-2. Excellent goal. Really well worked from Leeds. Really, really well worked. Let's get that changed. 2-2. Oh, I bloody cancelled it. There we go. 2-2. Yes, I was barely watching. I was talking about bloody comments and Leeds have scored. Excellent goal. I just caught my eye just as he was about to shoot and then he just put it in the bottom corner. So, 2-2. It's back on. Alex's 3-2 prediction, I think it was Alex who said it, is back on. Do even look like we have a chance. Can't find a working stream at all for this game. And then we scored. Yes, Rodrigo, as Rob is saying. Yes, excellent from Rodrigo, putting it in the bottom corner to make it his 10th goal of the season. Let's have a look at top scorer stats. I'm pretty sure he is now he's now out and out 5th, not joint 5th. But I need to concentrate on actually watching the game, don't I? Because I nearly missed a bloody goal then. So let's... West Ham with the ball here. Cresswell, who's come on, tried to get the ball in the box there, but it was blocked. And Leeds tried to break here. Rodrigo with the ball. Knocks it wide for Gnonto, and Gnonto's not going to get there, unfortunately. As fast as his little legs would carry him, he didn't get there. Tilo Kehrer back into the play with a throw-in then. Declan Rice now has the ball. Declan Rice is sporting a bloody ear after that challenge earlier on in the game, I think with Rodrigo. Leeds look a little bit more livened now, and obviously you would do by that goal. I think Jack Harrison's playing centrally, you know, as part of a midfield three. But he was really good in that goal, and his play was essential to the goal. Leeds have given the ball away again here, and Fornells Paqueta, one of them, is trying to come into the box. Gives it to Souček, back to Paqueta, tries to curl it into the box, and Ayling is able to clear. They're going to volley from the edge of the box, and Declan Rice's volley goes into row Z and hits someone on the head. I can't remember what I was saying there. It was a mad scramble, and West Ham have nearly scored again. Oh, yeah, Declan Rice was sporting a very bloody ear and bruised ear from when Rodrigo kicked him earlier in the game. But 72 minutes in, 2-2 now. But even if we go on and win this game, I hate the fact that we have to... I mean, it's exciting, but I hate the fact that we have to score 3 goals to win a game now. We shouldn't be conceded. We should be 2-0 up. Like, the mistakes that we've made that led to their goals are totally avoidable. And if they were avoided, we're 2-0 up. We've played well. That's what's upsetting for me. Well, not upsetting because I'm not crying, but you know what I mean. Aronson needs to be left out of the first team for a while. Yeah, maybe not too long, but maybe give Harrison a bit of a chance back in the team. But that's the luxury we've got now that we've signed Aronson. Gnonto's done excellently there. He's won the ball, but he hasn't quite managed to squeeze it through to Jack Harrison, who was making a run. Jack Harrison tries to win the ball off Paqueta, and eventually is adjudged to have fouled Lucas Paqueta, the Brazilian. West Ham currently in 18th in the red zone. In the red zone. Imagine if it was like American sports and it was like West Ham in the red zone. Bloody absolutely sensationalising everything when really we're just like bloody relegation spots yet again. But looks as though, as it stands, we will finish the day in 14th, which, like I said, is a point per game. 17 games, 17 points. Goal difference of -6, which isn't too horrendous, especially when you consider Forest -21, Wolves -15, Bournemouth -21. It's not that bad. We've, along with West Ham, we've got the joint best goal difference in the bottom 6. In the bottom 7, actually, joint best goal difference. So, no, sorry, not that we've got the best goal difference in the bottom 7 teams. So it's not actually too bad. We need to concentrate on that. Well, not concentrate on it, but try and not concede as many goals as we did last season. Because goal difference was massive last season. It could have sent us down, but luckily we managed to win on the last day. I don't want to see any more mistakes from defence from Leeds from this match. Yeah, easier said than done, isn't it, with our defence? But hopefully they don't make it. Surely they can't make 3. I shouldn't say that, should I? I shouldn't say things like that. I won't say it. I won't finish that sentence. 15 minutes to go then at Elland Road. Currently 2-2, as you can see above me. Scamacca with one of the goals. Gnonto and Rodrigo with the Leeds goals. Scamacca and Paqueta with the West Ham goals. I mean, I can't understand why I couldn't think of the word West Ham or the words West Ham. Robin Cox adjudged to have fouled Souček there, and it definitely wasn't. It just both went for the ball for a header, but West Ham have got a free kick here, and it is Land of the Giants with some of their defensive midfielders in there, and their defenders as well, so they're going to try and get the ball in the box here, I assume. I think a West Ham player's just fallen down on the edge of the box. Next to Cooper. Oh, it's Craig Dawson. Late Christmas ham coming to give Leeds 3 points. That's terrible. Yes, West Ham haven't taken their free kick yet because there's some pushing and shoving on the edge of the box, but they're about to take it now. It's whipped into the box. Cleared by Tyler Adams, but only into the path. It wasn't cleared at all. Flicked off Tyler Adams' head into the path of Souček, who could only really control it into the gloves of Meslier. Oh, ball into Click from Ayling, and Click couldn't quite control it, but Click is now pressing Craig Dawson, and now Flappy Hansky. He used to be called Flappy Hansky, didn't he? Because he was, I think he was when he was at Arsenal, Fabianski, and he just was quite mistake prone. But for West Ham, he seems pretty, ironically, unflappable in goal. Great ball through from Jack Harrison into Rodrigo. Rodrigo shoots! Oh, and Fabianski, as I was just saying, makes an excellent save over the bar. But Jack Harrison, in a central position, we could have revealed something here, you know. That is an unbelievable slid-through ball. Jack Harrison has just slid it through everyone, and Rodrigo has put a lot of power on it, but it's pretty central. He looked like he was in two minds, Rodrigo, but really should be finishing that. Sam Greenwood's now coming on. I'm assuming it's going to be for Mark Rocket. Yeah, Mark Rocker's gone off, and Sam Greenwood has come on as well for an extra bit of youth in there. Mark Rocker going off to a bit of a standing ovation from the Leeds fans. Ball into the box now from this corner. Jack Harrison's whipped ball in. Nearly reaches Cooper, but only as far as a West Ham defender. Tyler Adams plays an excellent reverse pass out to the right-hand side where Jack Harrison has the ball. Jack Harrison tries to curl it in, comes off that absolute giant Souček's head. Mikel Antonio is now on as well, which I didn't even notice. But Click has won the ball. Click comes into the box. Oh, Jack Harrison nearly shoots, but it's taken off him. Cooper then wins the ball. Strauk tries to play the ball into the box. Gnonto looked like he was being held onto then, but he didn't go down, and he's still got the ball on the right-hand side, trying to take on his man. Tries to get the ball into the box, and Leeds have won a corner here. Excellent pressure. Excellent sustained pressure. Gnonto has been so good, and he manages to beat his man Paqueta and get a ball into the box, which was going all the way through to Fabianski, but a West Ham defender felt that he needed to get there, and it's a corner for Leeds. Jack Harrison whips the corner in, gets headed away again by Land of the Giants. Click tries to play a ball out wide, but it hits Fornals, and Fornals is able to break now. Fornals passes it into Michail Antonio, but Tyler Adams is on the cover. Tyler Adams is forcing Michail Antonio out wide and does really well and actually wins Leeds a goal kick and celebrates with the crowd. Tyler Adams has just tracked Michail Antonio's run from the halfway line, got a shoulder in and forced out for a goal kick rather than a corner. So Tyler Adams is fast becoming my favourite player. That is unbelievable work from him. Absolutely unbelievable work from him. Paqueta's coming off. He looks absolutely knackered. Who said it before? Come on, own up. Who said about Saeed Benrahma? At least he's on the bench. Who was it? Because now he's bloody coming on, isn't he? Now he's bloody coming on. Flynn Downs, I think this lad's called. Young lad. Did Click out them through off Pock's head? Can you try that again in English, Rob? Ooh, Tam Greenwood tries to play a little ball, but Adams for captain. Yeah, I can understand that the call for Adams to be captain. He was an excellent captain for the USMNT, the United States Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think he was an excellent captain for them at the World Cup. We've been counter-attacked a few times, but that's only because we are trying to sustain levels of pressure in these late stages. De Klerk kick it into Petch's head to set up that run. Who's Petch? Petch, am I being thick? Strouk's got the ball now, tries to throw it down the line. It's gone out for... Craig Dawson left it, but it's gone out for a Leeds throw-in. Oh, kick into Pitch's head to set up that. I've got no idea what you're on about, Rob. Kick into Pitch's head to set up that run. Pitch's head? I've got no idea. Pochettino. What are you on about, Pochettino? Did Click kick into Pochettino's head to set up that run? I don't know what you're on about. Tilo Kehrer with the throw in here, just outside the West Ham box. Leeds are looking to try and sustain this pressure here, because if we get this late goal now, you've got to feel like it's going to be the winner. And West Ham looking like they could be open to a concession here. Little foul, and it's gone Leeds' way this time, actually. Cooper's been fouled and Leeds have won the ball. Tyler Adams looks like he wants to be over it, although I don't know how good his long delivery is. Yeah, I think Flynn Downs, I think he's young. The young lad has grabbed Cooper and pulled him down there, and Leeds have got a chance to float one into the box here from just inside the half. Oh, it looks like it's going to be Sam Greenwood, actually, to try and float this one long. I assume he's going to... Oh, no, he's going to pass it to Tyler Adams, who then gives it into Jack Harrison's feet. Jack Harrison's got a couple of men on him, but manages to retain the ball even after falling over and has lost it, but... Leeds are giving away a free kick. We just had a free kick in the opposition half, and within 2 seconds, the opposition have got a free kick 5 yards away from where our free kick started. How do we do that? And now they're counter-attacking. Going to be the ball into the box here, but Tyler Adams is able to clear it only as far as Declan Rice. Declan curls one. Declan? I'm not mates with him. Declan Rice curls one, but goes far wide. I mean, honestly, I kind of go, oh, it's all right whenever the ball comes to Declan Rice for a long distance strike, because he always hits them wide. I mean, I shouldn't have said that because he'll bang one in the top corner goal of the season now, but I just can't see it happening because he just seems to whack him wide all the time. Good little turn there from Leeds, but they were fouled, but they managed to keep the ball. I couldn't quite see who it was, but Luke Ayling's got the ball still. Gives it into Sam Greenwood. Now Tyler Adams with the ball. Gives it to Pascal Struijk, who's probably going to look to give it to Gnonto out wide. Tyler Adams is making a run down the wing, but it's given back inside to Pascal Struijk, who tries to put it down the line for Jack Harrison, and Jack Harrison's cross was deflected out for another Leeds United corner. Come on, Leeds. Corner in here. Big fat Liam Cooper header. 3-2. We all go balmy. That'll do, won't it? We claim the moral victory. 2 goals from proper football versus 2 goals from opposition mistakes. Yes, I will be claiming the moral victory. In all seriousness, though, I will talk about that after this corner. Corner about to be whipped in by Sam Greenwood. Decent corner from Sam Greenwood. It's off the line. Oh! Michael Antonio has just saved it off the line from Cooper's header. I mean, I literally said a big fat Cooper header on this, please. Off the line from Cooper's header, and then Cooper's missed the follow-up. Oh, Cooper's skied the follow-up from 5 yards. Yeah, joking aside, I will be taking the positives from this game in the fact that if we hadn't have given away those mistakes, we would have won 2-0. Obviously, ifs and buts are what they are, but the fact that we've created 2 good goals from open play is promising against a West Ham side who haven't conceded that many goals or don't usually. Usually have a solid defence. I'll take that, but we are capable of getting a winner here. Just as Jack Harrison drives into the opposition half, gives the ball to Clicky. Click now plays the ball down the line to Ayling. Ayling's won Leeds another corner. The crowd are getting up for it here. Rodrigo gets criticised a lot, but you can't argue with 10 goals. This is what I was saying. His best return for Leeds. He wasn't going to get much change from Manchester City and Newcastle. Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier in the stream. Let me just tilt that. This is what I was saying earlier in the stream. Rodrigo, we've slagged him off before, but I can now admit when he's got his merits that he's been playing really, really well this season, at least on the goal scoring front. Ball in the box. Struijk tries to get onto it and kicks it over everybody and sort of a loose chip into the cop. Just checking what end of the pitch that was. Fabianski then with the goal kick here. Just under 4 minutes to go here at Elland Road. I feel like we can win it. I feel like we've got it in the tank to get a winner. I feel like Jack Harrison, I need to stop saying I feel like Jack Harrison's been really good since he came on. But West Ham are trying to break here, but Tyler Adams again is there. But Leeds have given the ball away again through Click. Downs has given it to Rice. Rice has got the ball. Rice is passing it out to Kehrer. Kehrer, who's dispossessed by Gnonto, and Gnonto's now going to try and break. He's nutmegged Kehrer. Kehrer's fallen over. Gnonto breaks into the opposition half, tries to play a pass all the way through to Rodrigo, but I think got a bit overexcited at the fact that he's just absolutely ended Thilo Kehrer's career and didn't play an excellent pass there. But West Ham are panicking a little bit. Declan Rice has just hit it straight out of play. You can count on Harrison lifting when the transfer opens. Yeah, transfer window opens. Yeah, he's been really good since he's come on. He's looked excellent. I never thought of him as good in that central position, but his left-footed passes slid into the strikers have been really, really good. He's accidentally just passed it into Struijk, who's curled it into the box, but West Ham are able to clear, but only as far as Sam Greenwood. Sam Greenwood with a long ball into Luke Ayling, who he could have put a foot out, I feel, to try and get that, Luke Ayling. But good play again from Leeds. Aged has gone down with cramp in his own box. Joffy's warming up. Looks like he could be coming on here for Rodrigo. I assume it'll be Rodrigo. Can't see who else it would be for Joffy. Just as Joffy's coming on now for Rodrigo. Michael Antonio tries to play a ball down the line, but it's cut out by Luke Ayling well. Ball is back with Ilyan Meslier, and he's sent it long into the midfield. Come on, Leeds. Robin Cox run the drop down. Sam Greenwood tried to spray a ball out to Wilfred Gnonto, but it doesn't reach him, and West Ham have got the ball back here. Don't know why we leave it so late to bring Joffy on. Could do it like 10 minutes earlier. Yeah, really, we could have done. At least give him 10 minutes to try and make an impact. I feel like Tyler Adams has handballed it there, but it's not been given, so Leeds are able to carry on with the ball here, and Pascal's just taken a loose touch and put it out of play. Michael Brown saying, don't know why West Ham don't look anywhere near the side they've been for the last 2 seasons. I agree with that as well. They've scored 2 goals today, but if we hadn't have made those defensive errors, they wouldn't have scored a single goal. And every time we played West Ham in the previous couple of seasons, I've always felt that they had the beating of us. I've always felt that they'd be scoring goals and pretty hard to score goals against. Obviously, we did have that game where Harrison scored his hat-trick against West Ham away, but it looks like it's Gnonto coming off for Joffy. I think we might be going 2 up front. That might be what it is. Gnonto's played excellent today. But yeah, West Ham, they're not the same beast this season, are they? But like I said at the start, I can see them definitely growing into this game a little bit more, this season a little bit more, and getting better as it goes on. But Joffy's come on. We've got 5 minutes of added time here at Elland Road, and Leeds have won a free kick in the West Ham half. Come on, Leeds. 4 minutes to do something special. I mean, Joffy's got 4 goal contributions in his time at Leeds in the first team, and they've all been after the 90-minute mark, I think. I think they've all been after the 90-minute mark. So, I mean, is it a sign? Is it a sign? He's Joffy's on here up front. Ball into the box here. It's gone up in the air. Fabianski's punched and flapped it in. Ayling's won it out on the left-hand side. He's given it back into Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison loses it, but Bowens ran it all the way out of play, and Leeds are able to get the ball back for a throw-in. What's going on? The referee's listening to his VAR are looking at something. VAR are checking for a potential Leeds United penalty, but it's not given. Don't worry, everybody, it's not given. We've got 3 minutes left of added time. It's not up there because the 90 minutes is up, but there's 3 minutes left of added time. I tell you what I could do actually for you. I could. There you go. That's your added time. Just have to use the first half timer again. Joffy wins the ball, but it's only gone as far as a West Ham player. Leeds have won it back, though, on the second ball. Ayling trying to get down that touchline. Gives it into Joffy's feet. Joffy's won a... Joffy thought he'd won a throw-in, but for some reason the linesman wants to cheat and give it to West Ham. West Ham have got a throw-in just outside their box. 2 minutes left, then, of the additional time. It's 2-2 here at Elland Road, as you can see above me. Leeds United pushing for a winner here. We really, really need those 3 points. They'd go a long way this season. Joffy or Harrison are capable of playing that Aronson position and doing much better with Aronson because his form has dipped. Yeah, Aronson could also be tried as a winger as well. I feel like he could also be effective as a winger, but he's not really had the chance to play there too much. But when we've got Sinistera coming back as well, we've got options, which is what I like to see. Pascal Struijk with the ball now. Gives it into Jack Harrison, who's gone to the left-hand side a little bit more, but his pass this time is too far for Struijk and goes all the way through. Declan Rice has just paid an excellent pass into the path of Fornals. Fornals into the box. Curled it towards the back post. And Michail Antonio was sliding in at the back post and couldn't quite finish it off. Thank God for that. He was onside because Cooper played him on, and he slid in for it. It was Ben Rama, actually, not Fornals. Apologies. Curled it in, and then Michail Antonio was about a foot away from scoring the winner for West Ham here. Leeds have got a free kick about 45 yards out, I think. It was a must-not-lose game, really, for Leeds and West Ham. Yeah, and that often does end in a draw, but you got to think if we didn't make those mistakes, we'd have bloody won 2-0 here. So let's hope we have a little redemption arc and score here. It's 94 minutes and 55 seconds. We're now finished the 5 minutes of added time, as you can see above me, and we're into additional time as well. So if we do not score this free kick, it's going to end as a draw. 17 games, 17 points. But the ball is about to go into the box from Jack Harrison. Ball into the box! Saved unbelievably by Fabianski. Another really clever, really well-worked free kick routine. Jack Harrison chips it to the far post. Cooper heads it across. And Rodrigo heads it, and it goes straight at Fabianski. It doesn't go straight at him. I don't give him enough credit there. It was a good header. It's just that Fabianski made an excellent save. Corner about to come in then from Sam Greenwood. Goes to the front post. Oh, and it's been cleared. Full time then. Let's stop that timer. Full time at Elland Road. 2-2 between Leeds and West Ham. A game of maybes, a game of could-have-beens. We should have won that game 2-0, really. We had the we scored the goals to win 2-0. We just made the mistakes to concede, and it's so disappointing to do something like that. Gnonto, I thought, was excellent. Ayling was good at overlapping, getting into those positions to get the ball in the box. I thought when Jack Harrison came on, he changed the game. He really played some good balls through it, and let's not forget to mention Somerville and Rodrigo as well. Rodrigo got his goal. Somerville played well, driving into the opposition half. Somerville potentially lucky not to get more than a yellow card for his challenge on Soufal, but that doesn't matter in the end because he only got a yellow. Yeah, it's very irritating because we actually did quite well then. I thought we played well. Other than the mistakes, I actually thought we played a good game of football, and we created the chances and we scored the goals to win the game. But like I said before, I do not want to have to score 3 goals to be able to win a game. That's what annoys me about this. So, yes, thanks for watching. Everybody, I suppose everybody who's been in has liked the stream because there's 40 people, 39 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. That'll really help me out. Thank you for joining me on this live watch-along, and expect plenty more January transfer content on the way this month, and also more live watch-alongs will be on the channel, so look out for them in your notification box. Thank you, everybody, for joining me again. Thanks, everybody, for contributing in the chat and making it an enjoyable stream. Really appreciate it because I couldn't do it without you lot. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll probably see you with another video at some point soon. Thank you, everybody. Oh, helps if I can actually click the end stream button, doesn't it? Thanks for watching. See you next time on Leeds Lately.